Hey guys, so I'm here now to talk to you about today's prompt, and today's prompt is for you to write down your fear chain. So many of us, most of us, probably all of us, walk around every day with fears that hold us back, that keep us stuck, that make it so that we don't take that confident step forward. So I'm going to teach you a little technique for what you can do with this fear, and I want you to practice today with one fear that arises. Maybe it's one that you've noticed keeps coming up over and over and over again, or maybe it's one that is just very present for you today or this week. So you start with your fear, and you write down your fear. So one of the things is that even just naming our fear is this huge step toward releasing it, because oftentimes we keep things like that in the shadows of our minds, not actually pulling them out and looking at what is it that I'm actually afraid of. And so that's what this exercise is all about, looking at it and finding out what is actually at the heart of this fear. And so you'll just write down your fear at the top of the paper or wherever you are in your journal. I am afraid of. And then from there, you're going to keep adding on to that fear. So you'll start with, I'll give you an example. I am afraid of not being successful. So from there, you will take your fear and add on, I am afraid of not being successful. And if that happens, then I am afraid that. And you'll write what you're afraid of next. And then from there, you'll write, and if that happens, then I'm afraid that. And you're going to keep on going and going and going with this fear chain until you get to that seed fear. Now, I'll just tell you that most people find that the very seed fear is something really intense and heavy and dark. And it's very fascinating to look at it and go, I'm not actually really afraid of being successful or not. I am afraid of this, that if I'm not successful, I'll be left alone, or I won't survive, or I'll be really harshly judged to the point where I won't have any connections in my life. And so we start dismantling our fears, because when we identify that one surface fear that we're living with today actually creates this deeper, is created from this much deeper fear that we have planted within us, that is the only way that we will get to the bottom of this. That is the only way that we can create change here. So I want you to know that no matter where you come to today with this fear exercise, that looking at it, bringing it into the light, being honest with the fear, is the way to transform it. There is no other way. We cannot get around it. We have to go through it. And so, because we're not going to get to our hope chain until tomorrow, I want to invite you to, after this practice today, stand up, shake it out, maybe put on some music and dance, maybe just get outside for 5 breaths of fresh air, but just don't let yourself get stuck in this fear. Congratulate yourself for taking this first step in eliminating this fear from your life now and forever. And so, like I said, all of these prompts are designed for you to really learn them this round through, but then use them again and again. So if I'm really struggling with a fear that's holding me back, I'll grab a piece of paper and I will just make a fear chain about it. And just making this fear chain where I go over and over again with the fear, and if that happens, then I'm afraid that, and keep going through it like that, I feel transformed. I feel like I just can grab a new perspective on my fear altogether and see that it's mostly just a story that I'm making up. And so let's not let ourselves get stuck in these fears. Let's let ourselves celebrate the fact that we're busting through them. All right, good luck.